Alright, let's give this a go, guys. Alright, everyone, this is episode 1 of Honestly Hannah. We are starting out with a spiritual episode in honor of Valentine's Day. I thought it would be really fun to begin with a spiritual episode because I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like Valentine's is one of those days where like everyone is just kind of going through it, you know? So I wanted to share just some tips and tricks that I do and I have, and just a lot of fun spiritual stuff that could maybe help you today on a day like this. So for all my galentines out there, I got you, and all the fellas who maybe need this as well, I got you too. So to start out, my name is Hannah. I have been on a spiritual journey for about 4, maybe 5 years now. It has been the hardest, most painful, most rewarding, blissful experience of my entire life. There's nothing about it I would change. I'm grateful for every moment of it, as hard as it may have been. I've learned so many lessons. I regret nothing, and it's just been such a beautiful, lovely experience that I would love to share with the world and just help people. So I'm very excited for this episode. It's very near and dear to my heart. So to start out, I know that Valentine's Day can be one of those days that makes people who already are single feel maybe extra lonely, make them feel maybe more depressed, maybe sad. And today is one of those days where just making sure you fill your own cup, because that really is such a part of the journey, is learning how to have a self-love concept. At the end of the day, if we cannot love ourselves, we cannot expect anyone else to. We shouldn't expect anyone else to fill our cup anyway. I think that's a misconception. At the end of the day, I should always be able to fill my own cup. That way when someone comes into my life, it's like the cherry on top. I'm already solid on my own. I don't need somebody. I just want somebody. And I am okay on my own, guys. And that's why I love sharing this information with people, because I am so good on my own. I love being on my own. That doesn't mean I don't want someone, but it does mean I'm not dependent upon someone. My world does not crash and burn. If someone wants to come in my life and go, the door is open. You're welcome to leave at any time you want. If I'm not making you happy, please go find someone that does. You are not hurting my feelings by saying I'm not the one for you. That's okay. Then go find the one for you, because I'm okay on my own. I'm a human. Does it hurt? Of course, when people tell us that we're no good for them, it does hurt, but that is only our ego talking. So if we can learn how to remove our ego for majority of our life, I think sometimes the ego is important. But if we can get it to be far removed from our self-concept and our self-identity, then dealing with certain situations becomes a whole lot lighter and a lot easier, and we don't react as quickly. We are able to sit back and think about it. And if God wants someone to leave my life, I'm not going to be upset at that. I heard someone say that once, and I thought that was beautiful. And also, if you are so in tune with who you are as a person, and you love who you are as a person, and you're so confident in who you are as a person and what you bring to the table, truly at your core, you believe everything that you're saying, then someone who wants to leave your life, you're going to laugh at that. If you think you bring so much to the table, and you think you have so much to offer the world, and you know you're confident, and you know that you are a lovable person, and you know that you have standards, and you know that anybody would be lucky to have you, then anybody who wanted to leave that, it's not going to bother you. You're not going to be shooketh, because you're going to be like, I know all of this. So if you want to go, that is your loss, buddy. What am I losing? Someone who doesn't see my value. I'm losing someone who doesn't see my worth, someone who doesn't want to step up to the plate. That's what I'm losing. I don't want that energy in my life then. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't see my worth, you don't see my value, you're essentially just telling me you're a low value person that can't reach up to where I'm at. Instead of saying my standards are too high, why don't you say your standards are too low? And if that's where you're at, that's okay, but I'm not. And I know what I'm worth. And I know my value. So if you don't want to rise above and meet me there, that's okay. My feelings are not hurt. but then you no longer have access to me, and that's okay too. And if you want to punish me for that, you do you, boo. But I'm not going to allow you to affect my energy, nor am I going to change my character and my moral compass to get back at you because you think that you doing whatever you do is going to get a reaction out of me. I'm so solid on my 10 toes that no one is going to get a reaction out of me unless I want them to. They can't affect me. Only I can do that. So that is kind of where you want to get mentally in your spiritual journey. And especially on days like today where you think you may crash and burn a little bit, you want to have such a solid mental foundation that days like today don't hurt, and you actually enjoy them, you ravish in them. I'd much rather be alone today than be with someone who doesn't deserve me. I would much rather be alone today than be at dinner with someone for 2 hours of my time doesn't really know me. My time is important to me. My time, 2 hours of my life I'll never get back, that I'm going to go to a dinner with a man I don't really know. For what? For why? I validate myself. I don't need to go to dinner, put on a nice dress, and have a man tell me I'm beautiful to feel good on Valentine's Day. I can walk in the mirror, look in there for 2 seconds, and tell myself I look beautiful and believe it, and not have to waste another hour and 58 minutes. Guys, you have to learn how to validate yourself. Please, validate yourself. We don't need guys' opinions. Or other way around, you know. Men, girls, doesn't matter. Whatever you identify as. Just learn to validate yourself. You don't need anyone to validate you. I, for so long, had men on a pedestal. I could cry. Oh my God, I'm getting so emotional even thinking about it. With the way just environment was for me growing up and the way that my life was as a child. Whoa, this made me so much more emotional than I thought. This was something I struggled with for so long, guys. Oh my God, I had men on a freaking pedestal. I would have done whatever to have a man love me, to validate me. Like, they were 10 feet ahead of me all day, every day. I just thought they were freaking God. Like, I thought they were everything and more. I just had no value in myself. I had no self-worth. I had no self-love. Like, I just thought men were the all and all be all, you know, like they were everything in my eyes. And it's just because of the way my life was. And I'm sure there'll be an episode where we get there and dive deeper into it. That's not what this episode is about, but it is just like men were on a pedestal for me. I don't need that anymore. I don't need validation from men. I have that. I give myself that every day. Every day I validate myself. No one, friends, family, work, accomplishments, nothing. I am validated and I am worthy because I am a God-given creature, and that is all I need to know. You want me to show you proof as to why I'm worthy? I don't need to, because your opinion does not matter to me, because I know why I'm worthy, and I know why I'm validated, because I say so, and that is all that matters to me. So please, people, get all these other people off these pedestals in your life and put yourself on that pedestal. Put yourself on that pedestal and not these other people. They have no reason to be there. They are not God. They are not this almighty being. They have no business being on a pedestal, because all that is going to do is drag you down. All that is going to do is trigger traumas and be baggage behind you every time you take a step. Okay, so please love yourself, find your self-worth and your self-respect, and reasons to take all these other people off these pedestals and put yourself on one, because you're so worthy and you are so beautiful and so handsome and so loved unconditionally. Even if you don't have people in your life unconditionally loving you, unconditionally love yourself. Show up for yourself. If you want someone to love you unconditionally, but you're not unconditionally loving yourself, that doesn't make sense, because energy attracts like energy. So you want someone to love you unconditionally, you gotta unconditionally love yourself. You gotta know you're worthy. You gotta know you're perfect. You gotta know you're beautiful, you know? I'm sorry. I love telling these stories because sometimes I just like to see how far I've come, guys, and that's why sometimes I get emotional. It's not like I'm really bothered anymore. It's just to think about these things when I'm talking about them and then seeing where I started and where I'm at now. It's just like such a beautiful experience. Oh my god, I have like makeup getting in my eye and it burns. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about some techniques we can do to get us to a good place. So for me, I love mirror work, talking to myself in the mirror, and self-affirmations when it comes to like money and it comes to self-love. So I love looking in the mirror and just doing EFT tapping, which you can always, I'm not going in all this stuff over time. Maybe these are, if you want to know what these things are, I could do future episodes on them and like dive deeper into them, but if you don't know what these things are, please YouTube them. But EFT tapping, which you're just going to tap like meridian points on your body. So you can start with your hand and just say like, I am the most beautiful person I have ever laid eyes on. I am the most beautiful person I have ever laid eyes on. And then you're going to move to right here. Money flows to me because I just get paid to exist. Money flows to me because I get paid to exist. I respect myself and so does everyone else in my life. I respect myself and so does everyone else in my life. Work opportunities flow to me and I book them effortlessly because I'm amazing. Work opportunities flow to me and I book them effortlessly because I'm amazing. I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself and I listen to my intuition. Okay, guys, so that's EFT tapping. To me, it's basically like self-concept work, like on steroids. Like it's self-concept work, but to me, when you do self-concept work, you're working with your conscious state. When you add in the tapping of the EFT tapping with the like certain meridian points in your body, and this is just my personal stance, I believe that we are more so waking up the subconscious, and that is way more powerful than working with your conscious body. You want to work with your subconscious body because that's what we're trying to unwire and rewire. So anytime you can tap into that subconscious, that's way more important. And you know, when you're working with like spiritual work and manifestation and rewiring the brain, you always, anytime you can get the nervous system involved, because that's such an important part to play, you want to get the nervous system involved. And EFT tapping is also getting the nervous system involved, so that's why that is so very important. So yes, please look into EFT tapping, guys. I'm not going to do it here today because I don't have the space around me, obviously, but somatic dancing is a beautiful way to kind of just get any kind of stored trauma out of your system, and you know, get any stagnant energy out of your body. And you can pull up, YouTube does videos as well of somatic dancing, but it really is just getting you kind of want to self-isolate all the different areas of your body and just wiggle them and move them and get that energy flowing. And then you kind of want to do some dancing and they'll show you, and you kind of want to wipe your body off afterwards and just like get that energy out there and start with new energy. That's the goal with somatic dancing. I also suggest to just look up like vagus nerve work on YouTube videos. There is different kinds of neck exercises, like you can turn your neck this way, push up, like there's different things you can do to reset the vagus nerve, which is almost like a whole nervous system reset. You can do eye work, like look to the left for 30 seconds, look to the right for 30 seconds, up, down,